I'm Luke Summerhays. I love Alomomola. Zoos are something of a dilemma for me. I love to see animals, but I hate to see them looking sad in their small little enclosures. I'm a little more conflicted when it comes to aquariums. A lot of the fish seem quite content with the big tanks they can explore in all 3 dimensions. It's also all too easy to convince myself that these animals, which are further from me on the evolutionary map, are therefore less intelligent. The truth is, though, octopus have shown intelligence on a par with apes, and sharks can live for centuries developing a wisdom I'll never know. Finally, I did get that sad zoo animal feeling when I went to a coastal aquarium in Japan and saw an ocean sunfish, alone in its tank, drifting so bored it bumped up against the glass. The ocean sunfish, known scientifically as the Alomomola, is a gentle giant, often seen slowly wandering through the ocean eating up jellyfish. With their great size, there are few animals which feed on them. Sharks may, or orcas, and particularly seals. Seals have been seen taking big chomps out of sunfish, who just swim merrily on, seemingly not feeling or noticing any pain. Alomomola is a big pink water-type Pokemon that resembles an ocean sunfish with a heart-shaped main body. The pink colour and heart motif lead many fans to speculate that this Pokemon evolved from Luvdisc, but when Black and White were finally released, that turned out not to be the case. The Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Pokédex photo for Alomomola does show it swimming with some Luvdisc. Some Pokédex entries describe Alomomola swimming around being docile, very much like a real-life sunfish. Pokemon White says, "Floating in the open sea is how they live. When they find a wounded Pokemon, they embrace it and bring it to shore." A lot of the others, however, talk about a mucous membrane unique to this Pokemon. Pokemon Black says, "The special membrane enveloping Alomomola has the ability to heal wounds." Real-life Mola lay the most eggs of any fish in the world, up to 3,000 at a time, and each infant is born barely millimeters across. They are surrounded by a star-shaped membrane, which protects them from predators and other hazards as they begin to grow to their enormous size. Black 2 and White 2 tell us, "It gently holds injured and weak Pokemon in its fins. Its special membrane heals their wounds." And Pokemon Sun asks, "It uses its special mucus to close the wounds of injured Pokemon. The reason for this behavior remains unknown." A question which was answered in Ultra Moon. "The reason it helps Pokemon in a weakened condition is that any Pokemon coming after them may also attack Alomomola." Welcome back to Does Andy Remember Gen 5 Pokemon?
And if so, does he have any thoughts about
Alomomola.
This is 100% a name pick. Mm-hmm. I know that much for free. I don't even think I can spell it to have a look at it, which is not ideal. Oh, that's a fish. What a disappointing revelation. Wow. That is such a cool name for such a disappointing fish. I'm assuming that it's heart-shaped and that it's kind of like saying, "I love my molar."
I think it's because the real fish has a similar name.
Well, I'm assuming that was named after loving. What's the real fish?
You got to go down to the bottom of the Bulbapedia page for that. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
I saw one in an aquarium recently, and it's quite big, and it looked really sad and lonely.
I mean, it is an aquarium. They're not fun hangs for fish, I imagine.
No.
I mean, I did see Finding Nemo, and they did not seem to be having a great time. The ocean sunfish.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not even like a it's the common mola or mola. Okay.
Mola, yeah. Mola is the name that Alomomola comes from.
It's a disappointing fish, both the Pokemon and the real fish. I'm not gonna lie.
They're really big.
I've just seen a sunfish caught in 1910 with an estimated weight of 1,600 kilograms. That's a lot of kilograms.
We couldn't even lift that between us.
No. Even with our arrogance, that would be too much.
Pokemon Ultra Sun tell us, fishermen take them along on long voyages, because if you have an Alomomola with you, there will be no need for a doctor or medicine. This makes Alomomola sound like a very valuable companion, and, as it happens, despite its slow, docile vibe, it is a helpful pocket monster. Alomomola, like a real Molamola, is able to take a licking and keep on ticking, having an enormous HP stat and an excellent defensive typing. On top of that, everything the Pokédex said about its membranes is not just talk. Alomomola has the ability Regenerator, which recovers its health when it switches, and the move Wish, which heals an ally in the next turn. This relying on switching a lot was nullified when, in Generation 9, it gained the move Flip Turn, which lets it attack and then switch with an ally, meaning it can bring someone else in to heal completely safely. This switching and changing style is much more useful in one-on-one matches than in the 2x2 format used in competitive video game competitions, but players have gotten very good mileage out of Alomomola. The name Alomomola takes the animal's scientific name, Molamola, and makes it a palindrome to match the Pokemon's symmetrical shape. The Japanese name, Mamambo, combines Mambo, the Japanese name for this fish, with the word mama, referring to its protective habits. The more we learn about the other animals who share our planet, the less unique our thoughts, feeling and consciousness feels. I hope one day humans will treat all life on Earth with a spirit of friendship. And in the meantime, I hope that Molamola I saw drifting lazily alone in a tank far too small is happy wherever it happens to float today. Music for Luke Loves Pokemon is by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork is by Katie Groves. Funding is provided by listeners at patreon.com/podcastiopodcastius. I love hearing from listeners. Get in touch about upcoming Pokemon on Twitter or Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN. Drop a comment if you're watching the video, or a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Coming up are Joltik and Ferroseed, so please get in touch about those or any other monsters. If you want to hear me complain more about SeaWorld and how people misunderstand animals, listen to the upcoming episode of the podcast Films and Filth about Jaws 3. It's a podcast in which we watch the top 100 and bottom 100 films as rated by IMDb users. Even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Alomomola. And remember, I love you too.